Welcome to the SmartTechCheck podcast, hosted by Mark Vina, your home for candid, insightful, and provocative conversations about the smart home, home automation, security, smartphones, PC and console gaming, and much more.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mark Vina, host of the SmartTechCheck podcast. Today is Thursday, September 30th, 2021. More than ever before, people are taking notice that the electrical grid is not always secure. From California to Texas, as well as other regions throughout the United States, people are concerned about securing their homes with reliable power due to blackouts caused by bad weather, fires, or other natural disasters. Today's podcast is focused on what one company is doing to make consumers feel more secure about their home power situation in case disaster strikes. With me today, let me bring him up on the screen, is Anson Liang, the CEO, president, and founder of Generark Energy. Anson, good morning, and how are you?
Hi, Mark. Good morning. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad that I have you today. I mean, this is a very, this topic and the products that you're talking about and you're offering in your company do a really nice job of addressing, an ongoing problem that people are starting to understand is a serious issue. And not just in different regions of the country. We'll talk about it in a second, but really throughout most portions of the United States. But before we get going, because I've got some questions for you, tell me a little bit about your background.
Yes, so I'm Anson Liang, founder and CEO of Generark Energy Inc. We founded the company about 2 years ago. So our mission is to provide reliable and affordable backup power solution to your home. The story goes basically a few years ago, my son was just born, and then I live in California, and then we have a huge wildfire in the Bay Area, and then my house went out of power for 4 days. And then that was a very stressful time because my kid was young, and then my wife need to feed the baby, and then need to keep the food cold, and everything was depending on having a reliable power source. But without the power, that was a really a very struggle time for us. So that was the moment I realized it's very important to have some basic power backup for your family, especially during an emergency. And what we observe is because of climate change, I think more and more kind of extreme weather happen across the country, and just more power outage happen more frequently. So that's what we observe.
Tell me a little bit about your background. Before you founded the company, where did you work? Give me just a little bit of a flavor on your pedigree, which I'm sure is very, very impressive.
I have been a serial entrepreneur. So in my past experience, I have started a couple of different startups in the hardware IoT, basically the smart devices categories. And Generark is my most recent startup.
A serial entrepreneur. Those are always dangerous people, Anson. They're very, very dangerous, but they also do a lot of great things. Appreciate that background. Let me I want to bring up some information here that will help us kind of guide us through the conversation. And I sent this to you early this morning, and this information really, really strikes home for what you're trying to really solve with the Generark solutions. I mean, if you look at that factoid on the left-hand side, when we had that awful weather problem in Texas, it was beyond Texas, by the way, but Texas really took the brunt of it. Over 3 million people were impacted. And then if you look kind of at kind of a color chart of the areas that were affected in Texas on the right-hand side, virtually, 70-80% of the state was impacted. Does this data surprises you? I mean, I have to believe that when you see something like this, this really jumps at you. This really says, boy, this is an opportunity for some company to solve in terms of, hey, what happens if the lights go out and I don't have a generator? What am I going to do?
Yeah, talking about that event, it was a very unfortunate situation happened to the people in Texas. During that time, we see many customers from Texas order the product from our website, and then we need to ship them immediately to their place. I think it's is surprised to see that in one way, but on the other hand, I think it's not surprising because it's really, I think, power outage happen very frequently in other places, like in Florida, in California. I mean, we probably like see very frequent like power outage like throughout the summer, during the winters as well. So I think for Texas, that is really a wake up call, because that really like give more awareness about to the people. I mean, to get prepared for an emergency situation like that. I think that was really a extreme event, but many people now realize, I think they need some kinds of backup power at home. So just to make sure if the kind of next disaster hits, and then they have something to that they can count on.
Right. Well, again, people are focusing on Texas because it's, a storm, the Uri storm happened back in the February timeframe, which, people tend to forget about things, and with bad situation, and they don't recall how really bad it was, and people actually died. I want to say 40 or 50 people died, if I'm not mistaken, during that crisis. And, if you live in California, like I do, and, and so do you, Anson, you've got this problem with fires all the time. And, PG&E will just routinely cut power off. I mean, with very, very little warning, because they have a lot of their infrastructure goes to the dense forest in California. And without getting into the whole political issue about who's to blame, why this infrastructure hasn't protected, it's not protected in a better way. The reality is that people are left holding the bag, and I know people in parts of San Jose that were impacted during those fires not too long ago. So with that, let me go to the next question for you. And that is, you talked a little bit about the mission of Generark. How large is the company? How long have you been around? Give me a little bit of background on the company itself. And we're going to go into your products in a second. We're going to talk about a few other issues, but just give me a little bit more history of the company.
Yeah, definitely. So we founded the company about 2 years ago, and then with the mission to provide affordable and reliable backup power solution to your home and for your family during an emergency. I think what we understand today is, because of climate change, a lot of natural disaster happen across the country, like in California, because of the wildfire, and PG&E shut down the power regularly. And then in Florida, in Texas, in other kind of southern states, I mean, during the summer and the fall, they have a lot of different kinds of tornadoes, hurricanes, and people need to face a series of different events, and because power outages. So that's something that we really want to solve, to provide a more reliable and affordable solution to everyone.
Now let's get into the technology itself, because I think that's obviously very interesting, and it's solar generator based, which I think for some people, there's lots of misconceptions about solar generators, and I mean, the average person, I think we can make this statement, when they think of generators, they're thinking about something that's powered by gasoline or some type of fuel basis, or they believe they're big batteries that have to be charged, in a conventional fashion, and those batteries tend to be massive. When you approach this from a technology standpoint, because I was really fascinated when I played with the product a bit. I mean, these are not toys. This is not, a solar generator to power a microwave oven. I mean, they can power a lot of devices, and I think that's a misconception that people have about solar generators. So can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So traditionally, I mean, people will have the gasoline based generator. Like, either it's portable, which you just like use it in your basically backyard. Basically, those traditional gas generator is pretty noisy, and then you can like bring it indoor to use. And then there's some other types of a bigger generator. Those you need to install permanently to your house, and then in case you have any power outage, and then that will have a backup. but all those are based on gasoline or kind of natural gas to run. For us, we move into a more kind of a cutting edge solution, so using solar and battery based generators. So our product comes with a few portable solar panel, and then you just need to lay them down on the ground. There's no installation, and then connect those solar panel to the battery unit. We call it the backup battery power station. And then you use the solar panel to charge the battery itself. And then the power station can be brought into the house inside, and then you can just need to plug in your fridge, plug in your microwave, turn it on, and then you have power. So it's a very easy, clean, eco-friendly solution, and there's no pollution. There's 100% safe to use indoor.
Well, and that, you pointed out the safety issue, which is a big problem with fuel-based generators, because people are always doing, you're not supposed to use them indoors, and people will use them indoors sometimes, and they can die of carbon monoxide poisoning. That happens quite a bit. And of course, fuel is flammable. That always can be a problem, although I don't hear too much about them blowing up, but that's always a possibility. So your technology is very clean. The panels don't have to be installed. It's not like you have to install them on the top of a house. They can literally be laid on the ground, correct?
Exactly. So it's a 100% portable solution, and there's no installation required.
How long does it, from taking out of the box to getting it set up? Any idea of how long it takes to set up? Have you timed it?
Yeah, the beauty of it is that once the battery is fully charged, and the energy can be stored inside the unit for up to a year if you don't use it. So technically speaking, you just need to bring it out, turn it on, plug it in, and you have power. So that it can be just like up to a minute, and then you have your power back on.
What kind of battery technologies does the battery use? Is it lithium ion, or what is it using?
So it's lithium based at this point, and we are moving the battery cell to a new technology. It's called the LiPo4. So the new battery is safer, and definitely basically provide kind of a longer lifespan for the product.
And once fully charged, it can actually be powered. You'll have, I'm sure it won't be at 100%, but it'll be very a high density charge for lasting about a year. Did I understand you correctly?
Yeah. So what I mean was, like, once you charge the unit, the energy stored inside the battery can maintain for at least a year. So you don't need to like keep recharging it like every 2 to 3 months, because traditionally the other types of battery, like the battery in your car, and then you need to keep them charged all the time in order to kind of get the power sustained in the battery cell itself. But for us, the energy can be basically kept inside the battery for at least a year.
Wow. Let's go to the next topic here. So, when you're talking to your employees, when you're talking to the press, what's the value proposition? I mean, and we're going to talk about the products in a second, but how do you differentiate itself from other products? Is Generark alone in being a solar-based? I mean, there are other high-end industrial solar-based solutions, but this is more a consumer residential level solution, correct?
Correct. Yeah. How we see we're different in the market, besides what I just mentioned, is solar based, is battery based, is clean and green, and there's a lot of other benefit to what we are offering to the customer. On one hand, we have the longest warranty for this kind of product in the market, so we offer 5-year warranty compared to some of the other competitors only offer up to 2 years. So I think it's super important for this kind of emergency power backup to have a long warranty, because people care about this, because this is not a toy. I mean, they're buying it for the family for the long time, and also in case a emergency. I think having a 5-year warranty, that's definitely give a lot of assurance to the customers. And then all of our product basically undergo 52 different safety tests. And we have all the certification to make sure the product meets the safety standard, which is, I would say, the most reliable solar generator on the market. And then on the other end, because it's portable, so it's not basically fixed to your house like permanently. So it's a portable solution. Besides for a emergency use, you can still use it like for other use cases. For example, people bring it for the camping, and people like take it outdoor, just like for outdoor party. So it basically open up a lot more use cases, and people will be able to have a freedom of power wherever they go. So I think that's another value proposition for our products.
Well, I like the usage model of using it, on a camping trip. It's going to be one heck of a camping trip, because there's a lot of you can power a lot of devices, off the main unit, which we'll talk about in a second. It's kind of like bringing your house with you. What about multi-dwelling units, apartments? Do you see your customers potentially using this in apartments where they could put the panels on a balcony, to charge, where, a lot of people live in apartments where they have, full view of a sun view. So how do you see that?
Exactly. I think that's another very important point. What we see in the past, usually people who are installing the traditional like gas-based generator, they are the homeowner. They are the kind of a single family house. And then with this kind of a portable solution, which you can use it inside your home and have a portable solar panel, and then it opens up to many other households in the country, people who are live in the apartment or in a kind of multi-unit house, and then they don't need to get a permit. They don't need to install permanently to their unit or to their house. And then in the past, if say probably only like 10 to 20% of the household would be afford to pay for those like big gas generator, and also have the right place to install that. Now it's like, I would say this product fits to 99% of the household in the country.
It's amazing. So let's get to the good stuff here, and that is the product line itself. So you've got, I see the panels, I see the battery pack power station. Talk about the lineup and how the products are really suited for different types of customers.
Yes, so we currently have two different models. We have the home power one, comes with 1,000 watts and 1,000 watt hours of capacity. And then we just released the home power 2. Home power 2 has double of the capacity, double of the power output voltage, which means you can power more devices for a longer period of time. And we basically sell them in bundle together with the portable solar panel. So the whole system, we call it the solar generator. But obviously, some people will prefer just like buy them separately, and some people may only need the power station itself, so they can skip the solar panel. But everything is tested, and everything comes with a 5-year warranty.
Now, give the audience a little bit of sense of the Home Power 2 series. How many devices, like in a home, could that power? In terms of, can you power the refrigerator, an oven, a microwave? Give me kind of a feel, giving average utilization of power. What could that possibly serve in the event there's a power shortage? I mean, are we talking a couple days worth of battery, powering other devices? I mean, how long does that power last with those types of appliances?
Yeah, for the home power 2, it depends on the device that you use. For example, for a fridge, it can give about like 10 to 30 hours of runtime for typical fridge in your house. And then for microwave, that can last, depending on your frequency of the usage, that can last like from anywhere from a day to a few days. And then it will be less efficient on using on a heater. So if you have a like radiant heater in your house, and then that will probably only last for a few hours in an emergency. But for the typical kind of small appliances like your laptop, your Wi-Fi routers, lighting, and then that will really give you a long, really long run time, like up to 7 days of cover power for those smaller devices.
And when you get that kind of power, of course, I mean, as we saw in Texas in that storm earlier in the year, I mean, that it wasn't just a power outage for 24 hours. That went on for 6 or 7 days. And many houses took, especially in Louisiana, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it took a couple of weeks before power came back. So, and what's beautiful about this is that you can keep, if you, can you charge and use them at the same time? Or do they have to be charged? Yeah, see. Okay.
Yeah, what I just mentioned about the runtime is based on a single charge, so that will give you a lot of power. But as you said, I mean, the power outage can last for a few weeks or even a month. So the solar panel really does the job to do a ultra fast recharge to the unit. Under a full sun condition, it only takes about 3 to 4 hours to fully charge the unit, and you can use the unit at the same time when it's being recharged. So that's the beauty of it, which in most of the situation, I mean, during the day you charge the unit and you can use it at the same time, and then during the night, pretty much all the energy stored in the unit can help you get through the whole night, and then on the other day, and then you can recharge it again.
Before we end the podcast, let's talk about price points, because they're a bit tough to read on the slide. But give us a quick overview of the price points, because I can see them, and I think actually they're very reasonable. Especially if you're in the middle of a crisis. So they're not. I don't think those price points are out of line. But also talk. How do you sell them? Do you have to buy them direct from Generark, or do you have distributors or retailers? So let's talk about prices and where you can buy them.
So at this point, we are selling it direct to the customers. So customer can go to our website, generark.com, GENERARK.com, to make a purchase. Or they can also go to Amazon to find our products. And the pricing is anywhere from $1,000 to up to $3,000. So for example, the home power one solar panel, solar generators, we have a promotion running on our website at this point, selling it at $14.99. It comes with a portable power station with 2 portable solar panels. And then for the newer model, the Home Power 2 series, so it will come with 4 200 watts portable solar panel, and comes with the Home Power 2 a power station. And then we have that offer at about $2,000 at this point.
That's great. Anson, this is could be more timely. We're hurricane season is still going on. And it's been a bad hurricane season so far. They're running out of letters, and this is the kind of product, and products like this are really can save lives. And we really appreciate that. And thank you for your time today. And for those who are watching the podcast, the website that Anson mentioned is at the bottom of the screen. So Anson, thanks for your time. Appreciate you coming in today for the call. I want to remind everybody that to our viewing and listening audience, please make sure that you hit the like and subscribe buttons for the Smart Tech Check podcast on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Mark Vina Tech Guy. And until next time, have a great weekend.